Coming up, a group opposes a speaker invited to the University of Iowa.
And later, one of the largest medical decisions in state history is reversed in court.
Iowa men's hoops host South Dakota without starting center Owen Freeman.
Don't get too used to the drier days. I'll have more ahead on the showers and weather.
All that and more
Coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City. It is Wednesday, November 13th. I'm Johnny Valtman.
And I'm Draven Murdy.
And the third member of our team, Isabel Woody, is live outside to tell us today's weather story.
Is it looking like winter weather, or do we still have some fall left?
Thanks, guys, and we have some fall weather still left to expect. The cold has not been the only thing showing up more recently, but also rain. We are expected to see rain on and off throughout the day, with it being an average of 53 degrees and windy. Tonight will drop down to 43 degrees with occasional rain showers. Tomorrow the sun is expected to pop out through the clouds, making it another 53-degree day. I'll have more for you on the weather for the rest of the week, but I'll send it back to you in the studio for now.
Young Americans for Freedom hosted Speaker Michael Knowles at the IMU on Monday. A protest at the event had people speaking against the speaker and against the organization. DITV's Ryan Lynch explores how the demonstration unfolded.
The protesters outside the event were advocating for rights for transgender people. Some UI students did not join the protest, but voiced support that transgender people should have the same rights as everyone.
Trans people are people too, and trans people deserve the same rights as everybody else.
There is disagreement on the issues between the protesters and some of the people that attended the YAF event. But people on both sides were able to recognize the value of free speech.
Fascinating time to be an American. I mean, it's cool that they're here. They have every right to be here, but I think both sides have a right to be heard.
It's not okay what's going to happen in this country the next few years, and I think the protests is a really great sign that the fight's still going on.
The YAF event ended, and some supporters of the organization stuck around to start a counter-protest, while some other attendees stood as onlookers on the other side of the road.
And the majority of the protesters did stay until all of the event attendees left their counter-protest. From the Iowa Memorial Union, Ryan Lynch, DITV.
Despite Iowa's District 1 race still having yet to be called, one candidate is already taking steps forward as a representative. Republican incumbent Marionette Miller Meeks announced that she will be running for the GOP's conference secretary. Miller Meeks' race against Democrat Christina Bohannon has still yet to be called. Currently, Meeks leads Bohannon by around 800 votes, but a recount is more than likely due to the narrow margin.
As the temperatures start falling, so do the sales of houses. This isn't only a trend here in Iowa City, but nationally as well. Iowa City is seeing an 18.2% drop in sales over the last year. This follows after a 2.1% rise in median prices over the same period. Homes in the city now spend an average of 5 days longer on the market from a year ago. The university is preparing to make some changes to the art building. The art building was damaged after the 2008 flood but has yet to receive repairs or renovations. The university is setting aside $37 million to upgrade the building. The building will become the new location for the Makerspace, the Graduate College, the College of Education's Art Space, and the School of Planning and Public Affairs. More than 2 years after a landmark medical decision was made, that case is being opened back up.
DITV's Ryan Paris is live outside Mercy Hospital with the details.
That's right, Johnny. The Iowa State Supreme Court reversed one of the largest decisions in state history on Friday. Originally, Andrew and Kathleen Crompart received $97.4 million in damages for malpractice in the delivery of their son in 2018. The Cromparts filed a subsequent lawsuit in 2019 over the lasting injuries, such as a skull fracture and brain damage suffered in the delivery. However, after initially winning the trial, the verdict has been under scrutiny for wrongly including out-of-court evidence as statements. The evidence came from language in an FDA report that listed potential injuries resulting from the delivery, and that information was believed to have prejudiced the jury, leading to the ruling against the OB/GYN clinic. Because of this, the court ruled that the OBGYN clinic of Iowa City and Coralville, as well as Mercy Hospital, which settled before the verdict, were deprived of a fair trial. A new trial will occur in the future, but that time has not been set yet. Back to you guys in the studio.
Iowa City finds itself ranked in the high in the national list of best places to live. Each year, Livability releases a ranking of cities based on various categories, such as amenities, economy, education, environment, health, cost of living, safety, and transportation. Iowa City received a livability score of 748, ranking them in the top 100 cities in the United States.
Two children have been rescued in North Liberty after smoke consumed their family's apartment on Monday morning. The fire was reported at 4:40 a.m. Firefighters then rushed to the building and found the blaze in the living room of the second-floor apartment of the family. Crews rescued a dog, and the two children were found in a bedroom and taken to a hospital in Iowa City.
The University of Iowa is looking into new ways to address mental health.
DITV's Elizabeth Smith is in the newsroom with information on the University of Iowa's new mental health telehealth initiative.
University of Iowa's Scanlon Center for School Mental Health is expanding its reach to K-12 students across the state. The Scanlon Center is partnering with schools and education agencies to provide mental health care over the phone and over video calls, otherwise known as telehealth. This center currently provides psychiatric care for students aged 10 and up, including assessments for conditions like ADHD, depression, and anxiety, which often can emerge in elementary school. By using telehealth, psychiatrists can connect with students in private spaces within schools, regardless of their physical distance from Iowa City. The goal of the program is to create a short-term transition clinic where students can receive timely care before getting referred to other services, allowing more students to get the help they need. The Scanlon Center's goal is to be able to reach a wider range of patients so that as many individuals as possible can receive mental health care and assistance. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And coming up later, 3 toys are put into the spotlight.
Also, the rest of this week's forecast and a look into Hawkeye sports.
All that and more right after the break.
In Iowa City, history is being made every day, and DITV is capturing it all. The future of our nation.
DeSantis supporters here in West Des Moines were able to take
He is growing in popularity and will continue to be on the upward slope.
His goal was to shock the world at the Iowa caucus tonight. However, the results were a bit of a disappointment for his campaign.
Historic careers.
It's the end of an era.
Nobody was really giving the Hawks a chance to win, but you know what they say. Confetti doesn't fall until the game is played.
The men's wrestling team took a tough loss to Penn State in what was a frustrating meet.
Student experiences.
Bar scene in downtown Iowa City is a huge part of the community here at the Graduate Hotel for the Iowa Miss Heart of the USA pageant.
Local, state, nationwide. In front of the camera, behind the scenes, DITV is capturing history.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in live on thedailyiowan.com or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
Now let's take a look back outside with Isabel for the forecast for the week ahead.
Thanks, guys. This week we'll be expecting some clouds and rain showers. Friday will be the sunniest day of the week at 56 degrees. The temperatures will slowly drop as the week goes on after Saturday's 59 degrees. Later, we will start to see some of that rain coming through starting on Sunday. It will continue on Monday with a high of 55 degrees and Tuesday with a high of 51 degrees, and the wind will pick up as well. Nights this week will get down to the low 30s. The winter weather is approaching us quickly this November. That is all I have for you on the weather forecast for this week. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Isabel. And Draven, looking at those temperatures, I mean, this almost feels like October weather. I mean, we're still in the mid-50s. I mean, hasn't truly gotten cold yet. I mean, a frost here and there, but nothing truly cold where I have to, break out the winter coat and, scrape off my car.
No, not yet. I mean, I grew up on the East Coast, and this is nothing yet. I mean, I'm still walking around in quarter zips. I'm waiting until it actually gets cold before I start worrying about any kind of winter weather.
Yeah, but with the temperatures dropping, basketball season is heating up. So we're going to send it over to Sam Cruz, who has more on Iowa basketball.
That's right, guys. Hawkeyes men's basketball hosted South Dakota last night. DITV's Joe Keller has more on the game, including a big day for a player making their Hawkeye debut.
In their game against the South Dakota Coyotes, the Iowa men's basketball team was without their starting center Owen Freeman due to a sickness.
Not only was Owen not here, Peyton's in foul trouble, Lodgie's in foul trouble.
To make up for the loss, Seydou Traore stepped up for the Hawkeyes, coming off the bench with 12 points and 4 rebounds in his first game back from a foot injury.
You never want to sit out. You always want to be there at war with your teammates. We put a lot of work together, so just sitting out, this really hurts.
In his first game with the Hawkeyes, he already has a big-time highlight with a big alley-oop in the second half.
Me and Brock made eye contact, then we do it over and over again in practice, so just throw it up, I go get it.
Going into half, the Hawkeyes were only up 6 points, and in the locker room they knew they had to clean up the turnovers and pull away early in the second half. Josh Diggs propelled the Hawkeyes to a 20-point lead with 8 points and 2 assists in the first 7 minutes of the second half.
I mean, Josh seemed like he made every shot, and he gets going early. He's a handful.
Josh Diggs went 5 for 6 from the three-point line and scored 23 points in the victory.
My teammates were really just finding me when I was open. It makes it easy for me. I was just catch and shoot wide open threes.
With the win, the Hawkeyes improved to 3-0 on the season. The Hawkeyes will look to continue their hot start against their first Power 4 opponent, Washington State, on Friday in Moline. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, I'm Joel Keller, DITV Sports.
The Hawkeyes women's basketball team looks to continue their winning ways as they host the Toledo Rockets tonight. The Hawkeyes come into tonight's game with an undefeated 2-0 record and have won both games by an average of 18.5 points. The Toledo Rockets, led by last year's third-team all-conference guard Sammy Mikowowicz, will be looking to give Iowa their first loss tonight at 6 p.m. at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Iowa women's volleyball team will be looking to grab their first win since October 11th as they square off tomorrow night against the Indiana Hoosiers. The Hawkeyes are currently on a 9-game losing streak, while the visiting Hoosiers are on a 2-game skid as well. One of these teams will get back into the win column tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at Extreme Arena. On Tuesday, 3 Hawkeye football players were named semifinalists for some of college football's most heralded awards. Star running back Caleb Johnson was named a semifinalist for the Maxwell Award. The Maxwell Award is given to college football's Player of the Year. Johnson is Iowa's first Maxwell Award semifinalist since 2010. Linebacker Jay Higgins has been honored as a semifinalist for the Chuck Bednarik Award, which recognizes the most outstanding defensive player in the nation. And return specialist Caden Wiegand is a semifinalist for the Burlsworth Trophy, which is awarded to the most outstanding player in America who began his career as a walk-on. That's all from me in sports. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Sam and Dravin. Just going through sports here, I feel like it almost feels like Thanksgiving with how many sports we have going on. We have football, basketball, all these sports still going on. It's a great time to be, a student here at the university because you got all these sports.
Yeah, you didn't even mention wrestling. Their match against Iowa State, we get to continue this Cy-Hawk series. It's coming up very shortly. And like you said, there's not a better time to be a fan. We still got games against Maryland, Nebraska for football, and then all of basketball season to look forward to.
Yeah, and the Cy-Hawk games for basketball, the women's team come in here now for that Cy-Hawk game. It's going to be electric, going to be a lot of fun. But 3 popular toys have been inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame. On Tuesday, My Little Pony, Transformers, and Phase 10 were placed in the hall. My Little Pony gained popularity in the early 90s and even outsold Barbie for several years. Transformer toys have stayed relevant since they first came out in 1984. They had an animated TV show and a film series that continues on to this day. And since 1982, the Phase 10 card game has remained popular with millions sold each year. Dravin, I don't know about you, but I've never played Phase 10, have you?
I have never even heard of Phase 10 until we were prepping the story.
Man, I'm going to have to go to the Target, pick that game up. But we'd like to thank you for joining us online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We are live here from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at thedailyiowan.com.
For Isabella Woody and Sam Capri, I'm Johnny Valtman.
And for Elizabeth Smith and Ryan Paris, I'm Dravin Murdy.
See you again on Friday morning right here on DITV.